Well, hello! For the past couple of months, maybe, controversy has raged across the Wasky Squirrel Pen channel about my use of Parker Quink Washable Blue for all of my first impressions. Now, when I started doing this channel, I was mostly reviewing. I would review pens after I'd had them for a while. And I, put whatever into them. I didn't care. In fact, I've got a bottle here of Krishna samples I'm still trying to work through. But anyway, I started doing these first impression videos, and I did the same thing with them for a while, but then I started thinking, we need a more consistent experience. Okay, several viewers suggested we needed that, but I agreed. So I went with this lovely bottle of Parker Quink Washable Blue, because, it sat on my shelf and almost never got used, and I thought, well, we'll use it. But for the past few months, there have been people commenting saying, "It's not Parker Quink Washable Blue." So I'm like, well, what is it? Well, apparently Parker Quink also has a permanent blue, which just you don't see in the United States. So, I've wanted to settle this controversy, and I finally ordered a bottle of Parker Quink Permanent Blue. Now, while I was waiting for that, I ordered this beautiful, which I said in the video I haven't shown on the channel yet, but I think I'm going to release this video and that first impression at the same time, so I'm okay. But anyway, it's beautiful Parker International Dual Fold. And it was from Proto Pens, and Proto Pens waded into the controversy with a big galumph by sending me a full bottle of Parker Quink Washable Blue, which I didn't order, they just included it in the order. And so I don't know if that was their way of saying, hey, thank you for ordering this pen that's been in our catalog forever and nobody's wanted to buy, or if it was their way of saying, hey, let's wade into the controversy. So whatever it was, I now have a bottle of Parker Quink Washable Blue from them. So I was able to compare the two. And I mentioned in my Pens in Use on whatever day wasn't this week, January 11, 10, 9, 8, January 8th, I mentioned that I know the answer. Now, I hadn't received my permanent blue yet, but I was able to compare the two bottles, and I got my answer. But I waited till I got this permanent ink. And now you're going to get the full answer. So let's dive into it. All right, so in question, the ink bottles I have are Proto Pens bottle of washable blue, my bottle of washable blue, and the bottle that just arrived of permanent blue. Now we'll look at the bottles in a minute, but let's just look at, I don't have the box for mine anymore, but you can see that the washable blue is labeled washable, the permanent is not labeled. You can also see that the permanent has a slightly darker blue square thing. Aside from that, bottoms are the same, it says made in France. On the side here, the permanent says blue ink, and of course you can read your other languages there. The washable says eradicable and washable. We looked at that side. Oh, more languages. And then the other side is the same. So if we open them up, I'm going to try to keep them in order. So the bottles basically look the same. Yes, this is the pen I'm going to be using. On the bottom, they all say France and Parker and stuff. So I'll just hold this one up as a representative sample because I can't hold all three up at once. But yeah, they all say Parker there and they all say France here. If I flip them on their sides, the permanent blue is a little darker than the other two. So hopefully I can keep straight which is which, but I just have to remember mine's the empty one. And we're going to do a writing sample on some Tomaway River paper. And the pen I'm using over here on the side, let me just dry it off. I'm going to be using a glass dip pen. I want to say it's a Rohrer and Klingner, but it may be a Girbon. I bought it so long ago, I honestly don't remember anymore. This AMPAD means nothing. I'm doing it all on Tomoe River paper. I'm just using the AMPAD because my desk has these silly thingies in it. So let's start with the Proto Pens Washable Blue. Okay, so we'll do, let's do a little hashtag thingy, because I think it might be fun to put a couple drops of water on it. And we'll do, I guess, a swatch. I wonder if the microphone picked that up. That was like nails on chalkboard sort of sound. Oh, what else do you do? I don't do ink reviews, really, so I don't know what else you do with it. I guess people put them in different size pens, but I'm not going to. I guess I could see how long it takes to dry, but I don't really care. Alright, so washing it off. So now we'll switch to my Parker Quink Washable Blue. Kind of got to tip the bottle to the side there because it is getting low. Again, we'll do the checkerboard thingy so we can test for with a couple drops of water. And we'll do a nice little swatch. Again, what else do you do with an ink test? I'm not much of an ink reviewer. I like ink. I use ink. I just don't have much interest in reviewing it, but this has been bothering me. So that's why you're getting an ink video today. Okay, and the last one. Oh, I got some pens over here set here to be in my way to make me review them this weekend. But now they're in my way for this. So this last one will be Parker Quink. Permanent Blue. And again, we'll do the checkerboard thingy. The messiest and most squares of the three, but oh well. And we'll do a swatch. And I'm going to let it all dry while I go check on the paper chromatography, and then we will discuss. All right, don't tell any regular viewers to the channel I did this, but while these are drying, this ink is not normally so slow to dry. It's just that this glass dip pen lays it on pretty thick. The chromatography is still working, so yeah, I may have to go correct some papers or something and come back to this video, or film a different video. So, but in the meantime, just to give you an impression of how quickly the ink dries, I have here a Parker Duofold. I don't want to reveal it because it's my policy not to reveal pens on this channel until they've actually had a video filmed. The video's filmed, I just haven't published it yet. So, anyway, let's see if I can manage this. So we'll try to keep the pen off screen as much as I can. So this is written with Proto Pens, Washable Blue. And I'll make a little hash mark, another hash mark right below it, and a hash mark right below that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you can see, I mean, that wasn't a very accurate test, but you can see it was decently fast. And again, my policy is not to reveal these pens before they're filmed, but all I've got with Washable Blue in them is pens that I own and haven't published yet. So this next one is another pen that shall remain nameless. I have filmed the writing sample, just not the talky part, and you'll see it eventually. But I'm going to just attempt the same thing. This is my own Washable Blue. Whoops, my Washable Blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So, not a bad dryer. Obviously, this is a little bit drier pen. If I was truly trying to compare the writing, I'd have the same type of pen for everyone, but I did. So I just wanted to reassure you that it dries fairly quickly. And one thing I'm noticing that's kind of interesting here, since we're still waiting on the paper chromatography, where it kind of pooled there, I see just a hint of sheen. I don't know if you can make that out. Same thing on mine, where it kind of pooled there, a sheen. And on the permanent, there's actually, I mean, I wouldn't call this a high sheening ink, but there's sheen all over the place. As far as the color, again, don't judge by this, judge by this, because this up here is where it was all the same pen. I think the color looks a lot the same. I may have laid down the permanent swatch a little darker, but overall I think I was reasonably consistent. So let's find out what the paper chromatography can tell us. Alright, so I am recording this a little ahead of the rest of the video, and I'll show you why. So I have here the Parker Quink Permanent, the Proto Pens Parker Quink Washable Blue, and my Parker Quink Washable Blue. And I have 3 strips of, actually 4 strips in case I screw up, 4 strips of chromatography paper. I also have a glass pen. So, and I probably should have a pencil so I can label oh, it really needs sharpening. We'll do that after the video. So I'm going to label this first one my Parker Quink Washable Blue. And what I'm going to do is just about a, I don't know, ½ inch or so from the bottom, I'm just going to make a stripe across using the glass dip pen. And just to make it sort of even, I'm going to go across the other way. Alright. Set that in the water that's off screen here, clean it off. For what it's worth, I think the permanent blue and the... No, I take that back. They all look a little different. So we'll just split them up between, we'll soak them in some water. What I'll do off screen is I'll set the tips of these in water and probably have the tops taped to my kitchen cabinets and just let the water drift and carry the pigments up, and we'll see what we get. Alright, if I had thought more than 5 seconds about these results, I probably could have not bothered with paper chromatography because it's blue ink. Some inks will separate, just apparently not this one. So here is my own Parker Quink Washable Blue. If you'll remember, that was the first one I made, and it was the lightest of them all, so don't go by lightness. Then I have Proto Pens Washable Blue, which pretty much looks the same. They both have kind of this lighter blue and then this darker blue that goes a little higher. And then here is the permanent. And again, a lighter blue down here and a darker blue component that rises. I will say there's a little bit more of a shadow left behind here, but remember that may have been the heaviest one I laid out. And yeah, I could have let the chromatography go a little bit further, but I don't know that we would have learned much. So, I'm still left with, what is the point of Parker Quink Permanent Blue? You know, paper chromatography always seems slow when you're waiting on it. Alright, so I'm still waiting on it, so why don't we do this water sprinkling test. So I'm just going to put I'll try and get a little more here, a couple drops of water around. A couple drops here. Oops, that was a big drop. And 1 or 2 drops over here. Give them a little time to work. And you can kind of already see when it says permanent blue, not quite as permanent as I was hoping. By the way, I'm drinking can you tell? No, this isn't Parker Quink Washable Blue. I'm drinking a tea that's blue. If I put lemon juice in it, it turns violet. But no such fun with Parker Quink. Alright, so we'll dab off this one. Wait a minute. We'll dab off this one. Wait a minute. And dab off this one. And now I think it's worth zooming in. So we'll start with Proto Pens Parker Quink Washable Blue. And you can see that a fair amount of ink was lifted off the page, but what's left behind is readable. Mine got kind of a gloop of water, but again, there's enough left there to be readable. And the permanent blue, again. Alright, so the words I'm looking for are, what the hell is the difference between Parker Quink Permanent Blue and Parker Quink Washable Blue? So I'm really hoping that the chromatography brings up something, because otherwise all I have really seen as a difference is it's got a darker ink label, and yeah, it has a darker ink label. I can't see any. I guess it sheens a little bit more. So I hope that was worth the wait. So yeah, I do believe I have a bottle of Parker Quink Washable Blue. Now my memory and comments from viewers are that this is a very washed out blue ink. Kind of like the Geha ink, the vintage Geha ink I did last week. I don't have those old writing samples. I can't find them anywhere. And I know some of them faded to the point of being illegible. And I know some of it, because I was writing with this stuff back when I was like 10, 11 years old. I know teenaged me was embarrassed by it and probably threw it away. So, anyway, so I can't go back to the old writing to know. But what I think you can see, either all three of these bottles are permanent blue, or I really do have had a bottle of Parker Quink Washable Blue all along. Because mine looks like the Proto Pens. My only concern is that the permanent blue also looks the same and isn't terribly permanent on Tomoe River paper. Now, it could be one of those deals like Nathan Tart. If you complain about his inks not drying or not being as permanent, he'll say, well, don't do it on Tomoe River paper. Use normal American paper. So it could be I should have used a more porous paper to test the permanent nature of this ink. And I think I will do that. I think ink reviews take forever. I mean, God. But I think this summer, when I have more time, I can start filming in installments. I want to do a video where I compare the Parker inks that I have. So I think that will be fun. And I think, the last time I did a big ink video, I did it on a number of different papers. So I think that's what I'll do. But again, that's one of those projects for summer, not for when you're trying to keep your head above water when you're teaching during a plague year. So yeah, when the pandemic's over or I'm on summer vacation, we'll try that video out. But in the meantime, yes, the controversy is settled. I have Parker Quink Washable Blue. So I want to thank you for watching and for wading through this. Oh, and the blue tea, I realize somebody will probably ask. I'm not a tea channel. I'm usually a coffee drinker, but I also drink tea. This is called Butterfly Pea Flower. And it, like I said, it's blue, and it turns violet when you put lemon juice on it. And it just looks like little dried flowers. And I like it a lot better than jasmine tea, because jasmine tea is just too flowery. So now you know. So I've got a blue shirt on. My other video, oh my god. Yeah, it's a blooper. I refilmed it, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it in or not. But anyway, I wore blue just for this occasion. I drank blue tea just for the occasion, and luckily didn't confuse the blue tea for blue ink. So, well, thank you for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.